and I am the concerned guy for FICO, which I'll be taking you through this session. I hold an experience of 6 years. I started my career as an accountant, then I moved into SAP. When I started my career, I was fortunate enough to get a chance to work as the shadow resource, okay, for one of the implementation, and I have done around 6 implementations and a number of support. I don't know how many I've done, so kept on supporting. Right now, I am a lead for my team of around 25 people. Anything else you want to ask, anyone?
I would like to know about your experience in the controlling area, because that's the area that I am, being very interested and would like to know,
Yeah, yeah.
especially the overhead cost controlling and the profit
Yeah,
center accounting with the new GLs.
that is what I'll go through the subject, all the subject I'll go through step by step, the content and everything.
Okay.
Okay, that I'll go through. Anything else you want to ask? The subject part I'll go through each and everything. But you have to bear because there are other people who don't know anything about SAP. So I
No
have to
problem.
start from the scratch with
No
them
problem.
for those
Yeah.
people. Okay. All right. So Srivastava and Raj. So let us start.
Yep.
Heard about this 3 ERP? Heard about this?
Yeah.
So let's make this more interactive session. Whatever it is, just go for it.
Enterprise resource planning.
I think Rehan, you are well versed on that, Rehan.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I suppose let others take the ownership on that because you are already into SAP, all right?
Okay.
All right. So I think I should be asking you like whatever I feel like so that you can answer to that. So whichever
Okay.
I find it tougher for you. Okay. All right. So you will be the last to answer on that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Hey Raj. So as he said,
Yep.
enterprise,
Yep.
resource planning.
Yep.
Okay. I hope you people don't mind asking questions, right? All right.
No.
Enterprise resource planning. What do we understand by this, Srivastava?
When you work for a company, that company has different divisions.
Right.
My interest is in information technology. So what resources they use, which kind of platform they have, how many software developers are there. So these I will consider as a resource, and I don't know how. Maybe that's the planning. That is what I'm just kind of using some logic and trying to answer that.
Yeah, that's fine. What about you, Raj? Okay, let's open up this word by word. Enterprise can be my organization, right? It can be my industry.
Yep.
Right? It can be a company, so on. What are the resources that I require to run any organization? Okay, the basic resources that we require is men, material, machine, right? And your vitamin M, money, right? So these are the basic resources. These resources will change according to this organizations. The requirement keeps changing, right? As per the requirement. How do I do the planning of these resources? To do the planning of these resources, there is, for the men, we have something called HR. For material, we have something called materials management. Am I right?
Yep.
So for machine, we have something called plant maintenance. Right? For money, we have something called finance. Right? So your enterprise resource planning is nothing but planning of the resources of a company or an organization is called enterprise resource planning. I hope you will never forget this in your lifetime.
Yep. Excellent.
Good. Now, why are we here to learn this ERP? Because SAP is an ERP product. How it is called as an ERP product? I'll put down one example and then we'll conclude on that. Let's take we have a company by name Raj company. This Raj company is having different departments like a finance department, you have a sales and distribution department, you have a marketing department, you have a HR department, you have a production department, you have a warehouse department. You know the significance of each of these departments, right? Finance, sales and distribution, responsible for sales, marketing, advertisement, HR, to lodge the complaints, pick up the issues, people's management, right? Production, where production happens, warehouse, where you store the products, right? Hello? These are the departments. Clear?
Yep.
Okay. Suppose I want your attention over here. So here, you know, Srivastav as a customer comes
Mm-hmm.
and he says, I want to purchase $500 worth of goods. Okay, I just picking one hypothetical example to make you understand.
Yep.
Okay. Now remember, this company does not have any ERP, no ERP in this, nothing for managing, no software, nothing. Okay. So this customer comes and says, I want to purchase $500 worth of goods. So he reaches out to the sales department, right? So once he reaches out to the sales department takes this order worth of $500 and will update to the finance. The finance update to the warehouse. If the product are there, it will go ahead and update and go ahead and deliver. Otherwise, it will go to the production to start producing this goods worth of $500. From the production, it goes to the warehouse for the packing, then it updates the finance, then it updates to the sales and distribution, then it reaches out to the customer. Is the scenario clear?
Mm-hmm.
Hello? Everyone with me, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now this customer, once he picks this goods worth $500, once he reaches to his place, he finds out that he got goods worth of only $400. $400. How much short is he?
100.
$100 short of. Now this guy is yet furious about it. What is this? I have given $500 worth of goods, but why am I falling short of $100? So this guy immediately goes to a department HR to lodge his complaint stating that I have ordered for $500, but I have given goods worth of $400. That is $100 short.
Mm-hmm.
Now this HR department initially starts from the department from where the product was sold to find out the issue. Whether the customer pays the order of $500, what is he saying to inquire about it? It reaches out to the sales and distribution department. The sales and distribution department says, I have no clue, I have no idea, you need to touch base with the finance department because I got an update from there and I have delivered. So they reaches out to the finance department. When this HR department goes to the finance department, the finance says, no idea, you need to reach out to the warehouse department. They go to the warehouse department. The warehouse department also says the same thing. You need to reach out to the production to find out that issue. Finally, when they move out to all these departments, they come to a production department and they finally realize that the problem is lying over here. So just imagine if these departments are spread across at a different location, what kind of a hardship the customer has to go through. So in order to get rid of one of this issue, a product by name ERP came into the market. A product to be called as an ERP, it should have the functionality of integration. What do I mean by integration? Integration is nothing but the data is getting centralized. Getting this? Raj? Srivastav?
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
All right. Data should be centralized. If a product has to be called ERP. Next, the data should update on a real-time basis. When I say data should be updated on a real-time basis, means the sales and distribution guy is picking up the order and he's calling to the finance guy, hey, updated my order, please you go ahead and update. No, it should update on a real-time basis to everyone wherever it has to be reflected. Next, it should be based on one single platform. What do I mean by one single platform? Like, I cannot say that for the finance I'll use Oracle, For HR, I'll use PeopleSoft. Okay. For production, I'll use another software called Barn. Now, don't you think integration will become a problem if I'm using a different software for different departments? So it should be on a single software. Okay, single platform is nothing but on a single software. These are the three basic important features. There are many other apart from this. So all these features, whatever I'm talking about, is available in SAP. Clear? Now what is SAP?
Yep.
Clear. I started my conversation with an ERP. Then I said SAP is an ERP product. Then I picked up an example to show you what is an ERP, why ERP has come into this picture, and ultimately I said SAP is an ERP product. Clear till here? Any questions, anyone?
It's clear.
All right. What does SAP stand for? What does SAP stands for? Rehan?
System, application, and product.
Okay. System, application, and for data processing.
Data processing.
Yes. What are my products? Finance, controlling, sales and distribution, materials management, okay, plant maintenance. Okay, I think I hear a lot of utensil sounds around here. Okay, these are my products. What am I doing with this product? I'm processing the data.
Hey, it's something, I think, something noisy, I think, somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There are some utensils being thrown around. Alright. I think it is, but you can put on mute if such, okay. Now application. Application is nothing but a software. Okay. So what are you doing? You're processing the data through a software in a system application and product for data processing. Clear?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now Shrivastava,
Yeah.
how do you spell this word?
You know.
Right? How do you spell this word?
Oh, UNESCO.
Okay. Why we do not spell these words is because these are
Abbreviations. Yeah.
So you do not spell this word. How do you spell this word?
SAP.
You should not call as?
Not SAP, but SAP.
Clear?
Yep.
Because these are abbreviation. Each word has its own meaning into it. Right? So you should not call as SAP. SAP is a, I don't know, in German it's some weird word for it. Okay. So if you say SAP, people will think you don't know about anything about SAP. Okay. Now I am further moving into SAP. Let me divide into two. One is functional, one is technical.
Okay.
I'll put the domain over here. Finance. Under finance you have FI, you have CO. At logistics side we have sales and distribution, materials management, production planning, quality management, plant maintenance, and the admin side we have HR or LCM. Okay. In the technical side we have ABAP and first let me put basis and ABAP. Right. Now whatever you're seeing on your desktop, maybe you're using a Mac or maybe you're using a Windows 7 or Windows 8, right? That operating system has not come by itself, right? There is certain programming has gone into it, right? Hello?
Yeah.
So in the similar way, SAP is designed by a software called ABAP. This ABAP stands for Advanced Business Application and Programming. Okay. Now, people with their respective domains will get into their respective modules. Somebody who's having a knowledge on the ABAP side gets into this. As an ABAP consultant, what is his requirement to do? As an ABAP consultant, he'll develop reports. What kind of reports? Don't we have a standard reports in SAP? Yes, we do have standard reports in SAP. But if the client says, does reports, the input, report is nothing but an input, you're giving in, you're giving an output. So if you are giving an input, I hear a lot of sound, I don't know.
There's a lot of noise here, a lot of disturbances there.
I don't know. There is a... Okay, now it's fine. Now with respect to the reports, now we do have a standard report.
I'm sorry, I have a question about under this functional, you put this, is that FI or CO? What does that stand for? I missed that part.
I'm coming to it step by step, one by one.
Oh, okay, great. Go ahead then. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm coming one by one. So I just started on this side, then I'll move to this side. Okay, so I started with an ABAP. As an ABAP consultant, what they'll do, as a basis what they'll do, finance what they'll do, CO, like this I'll come one by one.
Okay, great.
Okay, now with respect to the reports, we do have a standard reports, but because we want to develop a reports as per the client, which are called as nothing but customized report, as per the requirement of the client, if you are developing, then you need to take the help of an ABAP consultant. When you are developing a report, an ABAP alone cannot develop a report. You need to take a help of this functional guys in developing the report.
Okay.
So ABAP prepares his technical specification based on the functional specification given by the functional consultant. These reports will be done. This is about the reports. Then interfaces. What is an interface? Anybody have an idea?
Interface is handshaking between, I can give the example of a firmware between a hardware and software.
Okay, let us take our own example over here in the Raj company. Raj says, I will use SAP, but for HR I will not use SAP, I use PeopleSoft over here. I hope you people know this ERP, PeopleSoft.
Yeah, yes.
So I'll use PeopleSoft for HR, but I'm not going to use SAP over here for this particular one. So what I'm trying to do is, I need to integrate this PeopleSoft with this SAP. So it's nothing but I'm trying to fetch non-SAP data into SAP. That is called as an interface. So that building of an interface, again I take a help of an ABAPer on this. Then there is something called conversion. Conversions are nothing but if this particular Raj company is going for an implementation, there will be some old data, legacy data. That data I need to upload into this SAP. That is done through a conversion. Old data, legacy data. So what we call as a legacy upload. Then something called enhancement. What's an enhancement? Let's take for example, there is a scenario. Scenario is procurement to pay scenario I have. The scenario starts this way. First you have a request, that is purchase request is there. Based on the request, there are quotations you will get. Based on the quotation, whichever quotations you feel, okay, this quotation is good. So you raise the order for this. Once you raise the purchase order, you'll receive the goods. Once you receive the goods, you'll do the invoice receipt. Once you do the invoice receipt, you make the payment. This is one kind of scenario. Standard scenario available in SAP. In this standard scenario, the client brings in any change, any enhancement, any development. For example, a purchase order which is raised to the tune of $100,000 need an approval from the higher ups. That kind of a functionality if you are bringing in. Any change in the functionality is called enhancement. Okay. Then there is something called forms. Forms are nothing but another kind of a reports only, developing a reports. So as a ABAP consultant, he will be looking into this. So what we call as a RICEF, RICEF, that is nothing but reports, interfaces, conversion, enhancement of forms, or somebody will also call as a FRICE. Clear? Any questions? Srivastav, Raj?
No.
Anyone? Hello?
So enhancements are like when you change some from like change some process, or
Yes, change the process. You bring in a change in the process, the standard process that SAP has given. Okay? Alright. Next, basis. Who's a basis consultant? Somebody who is having a knowledge on the hardware and the networking side gets into this as a basis consultant. Basis consultant primary job is you loading the software. This software is not just like an operating system which can be done in half an hour or 45 minutes. This requires time. The size, it needs to look into the sizing of the hardware depending on the size of implementation, security with regard to the user IDs, passwords, and blah blah stuff, all those. So this guy looks into this as a basis consultant. Somebody who's having a knowledge on the networking and the hardware side moves into this kind of a requirement. Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Now let's come back to the finance side. Finance. Purpose of finance. What is the purpose of finance? Srivastav, why do we need to do this?
Without money, nothing moves. So that could be one of the purpose.
Okay. Ultimately, what I'm trying to derive through a finance, I'm trying to derive my P&L accounts and balance sheets, right?
Okay, there's
know
profit and PL.
So either I'm making a profit or a loss.
Yeah.
But if I say I don't want to do, is it okay?
No, you have to do it.
Why I have to do it? Because it's a legal compulsion.
Yeah.
Why it is a legal compulsion? Because I need to pay taxes,
Tax.
right? So
Yeah.
if you put all together under one word, so this is called as for external reporting, right?
Okay.
This is all for external.
Uh-huh.
Right? I don't know. Was that Rehan asking me about finance and CEO? All right.
Clear?
This one?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah. Controlling. What is the other way around of controlling? When you say this is for external, CEO is for what?
Could be for internal.
Reporting. What am I trying to achieve with internal reporting? What am I trying to achieve? I'm trying to achieve so that I can keep a control on my resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to control my resources for what? So that I can maximize
Profit.
the utilization of the resources, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what I'm trying to achieve. Okay. So this is about the finance, this is about the controlling. So people with the respective, somebody who is having the accounting knowledge and the costing knowledge will get into this, FI and CO. What are we going to learn in FI and CO? I'll put down the content and I'll go individual steps on that. Okay. SD, responsible for sales. These are self-explanatory, these words. Materials management, person responsible for purchasing. Production planning, responsible for production. Quality management, responsible for storage. Okay, plant maintenance, this is responsible for maintenance of plants. Okay, HR, responsible for people's management.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, these are the core modules which I've gone through. Okay, apart from this, in SAP, you have, SAP comes up with new dimensional modules every now and then. These are basically for reporting kind of modules. Like there are certain modules like BI. Okay, earlier it was called as BW, business intelligence. Then you have something like HANA. Okay, then there is somebody who is very good in logistics side, he'll go for SCM, supply chain management. Somebody who is very good in the side will go for strategic enterprise management. Somebody who is very good in finance side, he'll go for FSCM, financial supply chain management. So there are many other new dimensional modules that SAP comes up with. Apart from this, there are something like ISS, Industrial Specific Solutions. In SAP, there are 21 plus industrial specific solutions. Specific solution, what do I mean? Specific to the industry, defense, aerospace, okay, utilities, like this. There are specific to the industry. They are around 21 plus. Okay. Any questions still here? Anyone?
No.
So are these industries, sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
so are these industries specific solutions are pre-configured to deal with those
Yes, there are.
lines of businesses?
Yeah, there are. Pre-configured also is there. Okay, but certain changes you have to make it as per your requirement if you are ready. Specific to the industry. Standard implementation what we call. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other question? So that I'll move to the next. Hello?
Yeah, you can move to the next now.
Alright. I'm just going to this content. What I'm going through. This FICO session requires 40 to 45 hours, okay, duration to run this course. Okay. So I'll be starting from the enterprise structure. This enterprise structure, the structure of an organization is designed during the blueprint phase, as Rehan was saying. So what is this blueprint phase, what he was talking about? This is a little bit of the project management side, what I'm telling you now. There are phases. You have a project preparation phase. You have a blueprint phase. Okay, then you have your realization phase. Then you have your final preparation phase. Then you have your go live. If you go to each consulting company, you have their own methodology. This is a methodology for implementation. They'll use this. Depending on their, like if you go for Infosys or Satyam or anyone, but these ingredients will be included in their methodology. If you go there, if you go to any consulting company, he'll say, I have the best methodology of implementing comparing to others. So he'll inherit some more into it. And then he'll say, but these are the basic requirements that are required for going for an SAP implementation. Now, preparation phase. Okay, when you start the getting into this implementation during the project preparation phase, you will look into many other aspects like sizing of the hardware or software with the basis consultant, interacting with the the core users from the client side, what we call, then the SAP consultant. Okay, all the basic requirements get into gathering during the project preparation phase, deciding on templates, what we're going to use and all that. Finally, there will be a kickoff meeting, what we call. Once that is done, then you move to a blueprint phase. It is during the blueprint phase, which Rehan is into. It is during this blueprint phase, I will design the enterprise structure. When I'm designing my enterprise structure, how it goes is, there is two things, as is and to be documentation will be done. When as is as per how the company is working in the present stage. To be is how I'm going to put it in SAP. Okay, this is as per company. Okay, this is how I'm going to put it in SAP. Whichever doesn't match between this and this, that is referred as gap. Am I right, Ryan? That is referred as gap. For this,
yes, okay.
For filling up this gap, you will be paid pretty high. Gaps are nothing but which you cannot put in SAP, but you are trying out different ways and means to set it up in SAP. Okay, during this phase, during this blueprint phase, I'll be setting up this enterprise structure. So here we will design our own company codes. Okay, this I'll explain you later what is all this company codes. So we'll be designing our own enterprise structure over here. Then we'll designing the own fiscal year, okay, which plays a very crucial role from the perspective of the finance. So we'll try to look into designing the own fiscal year. Then we'll move into general ledger accounting. In case of a general ledger accounting, you might heard about chart of accounts a lot, but you never heard about operating chart, group chart, country specific. We look into what is the requirement of this, all these three types, and also we'll try to test. But remember, whatever we do, all this configuration, whatever configuration we'll do, we'll test, we'll execute the reports. We'll test, we'll execute the reports. And whenever we are running, we will pick up a scenario, we'll try to replicate the scenario in the system and we'll run. It will be a scenario based. Everything will run down a scenario based. These are all templates. Few templates we'll try to test this. Then we'll look into something called foreign currency valuation. What is this foreign currency valuation? Suppose the company of Raj is set up in US. So what currency it use?
Dollar.
Dollar, that is USD. If Raj company is interacting in other than USD, that is transacting in EUR or AUD or CAD or INR, these are called as foreign
Exchange.
currencies. As per the US section IAS 21, you need to evaluate the foreign currency, right? So that you can give the true financial position of the company. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there will be a difference in the currency, right? Rate, conversion rate. So for that you need to evaluate the currency in order to show the true financial position of the company. Position of the company. So this we'll look into it. Then coming to the new GL, I'll come back again on the new GL. Once I finish, I'll again go back on the top. Accounts payable is related to your vendors. The receivables are nothing but customers. Okay, we'll run some scenarios on this. We'll run down payments from the perspective of payables, from the receivables. Dunning is nothing but a reminder being sent across to the customers for the late payment. We look into discounts, we look into installments, credit memos, debit memos, interest calculations from the perspective of loan taken from the bank and interest charged to the customers for the late payment. Then we look into banking. In case of a banking, we look into check management, which is manual, and also we look into automatic payment program, which is at a one go I'm making payment to hundreds of vendors. Then we look into taxation as per the jurisdiction level, that is as per the US, we'll set up the taxation. Then we'll look into asset accounting in detail. It's a very big one, so it requires some time for it. So we look into asset accounting from the perspective of depreciation calculation in the various ways. US follows basically useful life method. We look into that. Another based on the percentage also. Under percentage also again we look into straight line method and diminishing method. Few methods we look into it. Then we'll try to prepare our balance sheet and profit and loss account as per the schedules. Whatever the schedule the countries follow, I'll show you in general how to set up that FSV financial statement version. Now this is a crucial role from an interview point of view. SD and finance integration and MM and finance integration. Now here we'll run end-to-end scenarios. Now it is up to you if you want to see the settings of the sales and distribution and materials management, which you won't be doing it in the real time. But if you want, I can show you in front of you itself. Or you want to see only the integration part of the finance, I can show you that. That's up to you. But little bit extra time it will cover if I show it over there. Okay. Till here, any questions? Anyone? Rihan?
Yeah, that's okay.
Srivastav?
This MM stands for what? Can you repeat that?
Materials management.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, this MM, this one,
Yeah.
materials management. Okay, this SD stands for sales and distribution.
Yeah.
Okay. This stands for production planning. This stands for quality management, plant maintenance. Okay. Okay. Now moving to the controlling side. I'll be doing the controlling in the general settings first, then I'll move to the cost element accounting. Now what is this cost element accounting? Cost element accounting in general means if you want to fetch the data from the finance to the CO, it will be done through cost element accounting based on the category. There are certain categories through which the data will flow from FI to CO. That is the basic part of the cost element accounting. During our course there we'll look into it, what is primary, what is secondary, what is grouping in that cost element in detail. Cost center accounting. Cost center accounting is a place where cost is getting incurred. For example, production department where cost is getting incurred, administrative department where only cost is getting incurred, canteen department where only cost is getting incurred. Okay, those are referred as cost centers. Clear? Those are cost centers. Now it depends upon the client at what level he wants to define the cost centers. Does he want to define cost center as a region? Does he want to define cost center as a plant? Depending on the requirement, they go ahead and define these cost centers. For these cost centers, you can do the budgeting, you can do the planning, you can do this assessment and distribution is nothing but you're allocating cost from one cost center to another cost center. There are various methods of doing it. Clear? Clear?
Yep.
Okay. Internal order. Just let me know if my phrasing is wrong. If you're not able to understand, just let me know. Okay. Internal order. Rehan, is it clear till here? Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Internal order. Internal order is basically used for two purposes. One is for detailed reporting. Second is for collection of cost for over a period of time and you do the settlement. For example, an asset which is under construction. If the asset is under construction, can I calculate depreciation for that, Srivastava?
Say that again, please.
If the asset is under construction, can I calculate depreciation for that asset?
No.
No. Unless and until I am using that asset, I cannot calculate depreciation. So when the asset is under construction, there is certain cost that is getting involved into it, right? There is certain cost that is getting involved to it. So that cost for over a period, I will collect with the help of an internal order to track that cost. So when I start using that asset, from that day, I'll go ahead and settle that cost to that asset when I'm starting using when I start using that asset. That can be done through internal order. Okay, we can do budgeting. Okay, we can do planning. All this we'll look into detail at the time of internal order. Now this profit center. Profit center, for example, for an automobile company, car is a product, right? That car is fetching a revenue for them, right? That product is fetching a revenue, right?
Yeah.
So that product can be called as a profit center. That depends upon the client. The client said, no, don't call my product as a profit center. You can call my plant as a profit center. No, not a plant. Please carry my region as a profit center. So depending on the client, you will say, you will keep that as a profit center, depending on the requirement. But remember, profit center carries both cost as well as revenue. For example, in a car, the product, there is certain cost that is getting involved for that product. It captures the cost as well as revenue. So that is where the difference between a profit center and a cost center. Cost center records only cost. Profit center records both cost as well as revenue. Clear?
So which way this revenue and cost differ? I mean,
I did not get you. Can you come again?
On revenue and cost, what's the difference in them?
No, I'm saying over here, in case of a cost center, it records only cost. In case of a profit center, it records both cost as well as revenue. So when it is recording both cost and revenue, the balance, what do I get? What is that? Profit, right? the difference between the cost and the revenue. So that I can
Okay.
have it over here at the profit center, but I cannot have it at the cost center level.
Uh-huh.
At a cost center level, it only captures cost.
Okay.
So here I can plan the cost, I can allocate the cost, I can budget the cost. This is all for internal purpose, controlling. It's all for internal, for reporting.
Okay.
You should keep in mind only for the reporting. Only then you will understand this controlling. But this, you have to follow the law.
But the question here,
Yeah. Go ahead, Raj.
the question is when you can track your cost in the profit center as well, why you need cost centers as a separate?
Does my cost center track my profit also?
No, but the profit center does track the cost also, right?
Yeah, cost and revenue. But what if I want to plan my cost?
So can you not do that on profit center?
No, because the profit centers carries cost from the cost center. So you need a cost.
Oh, okay.
Okay, the profit center carries cost from the cost center. When I create a cost center, I assign a profit center in that.
So they are linked.
Interlinked. Okay. This profit center accounting now, after the new GL, has come under the FI module over here. Finance. Okay. Now, what is this new GL? New GL is nothing but an extended form of reporting. Don't go with the word new GL ledger accounting. This is pretty hot market as of now. Now, what are the things that we can do under new GL is, it is an extended form of reporting. For example, over here. Now, company Raj is set up in US, it is reporting in this currency, right? USD. But because his company is listed across the world, he might require a reporting not only in EUR, but also in INR also, right? Hello? This reporting is having over here, but if he needs a reporting in EUR and INR, this is one ledger, right? This is one kind of a ledger. Let's say this ledger is reporting in this. Ledger 1. I create another ledger 2, another ledger 3. Getting this? So I will be posting only in this ledger, automatically it will update in these two ledgers. So not only I can have the reports in USD, but also in EUR and INR. This is called as a parallel ledgers. Getting this, Rehan? Hello?
Yep.
Okay, this is one. There are many aspects on the new GL. Another one, coming to a next one. There is something called document splitting. Okay. There is something called document splitting. Now,
Hey, I have a question here. Sorry, I'm just bugging you here. Why do we need to do multiple ledgers if we have one single ledger? So why we need multiple? Can't we entertain with multiple means currency through the multiple currency in single ledger?
Yeah, but what you will do, you have to enter a transaction in USD, then again you have to enter a transaction in EUR, again you have to enter the transaction in INR. 3 times you have to enter them. Hello?
Okay.
But I'll enter only in USD. I don't like to make my work more tedious or kind of a thing. I'll enter only in USD. Automatically it should happen in EUR and INR. Automatic.
So can they serve the purpose of the IFRS or GAAP? For example, USD is GAAP, here is IFRS. Most of the countries they are using.
Yes, foreign reporting system. Yes, it can. Those
so
are
it
the
will automate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so no, go ahead.
No. I said those are the requirements of the IFRS reporting. This is basically for reporting. All new GL is for reporting. The requirement for the reporting has changed. So that is why this has come up.
So that also affects the new GL consolidation thing, or
no, consolidation is a separate module. Altogether, that's a separate module for that consolidation.
so if we want to see two different countries balance sheet and income statement at the same time, can we see through the new GL?
No.
No, not possible. For example, if
you're trying to combine a company codes, two company codes.
Okay. And then some of my subsidiaries, they are working outside, means offshore, and if I want to
You
come.
are saying like this, you want to combine these two company codes and you want to derive a balance sheet on this. Consolidation, this is called.
Okay.
This is not possible. This
So
is
this
what
is
I'm
only
telling you is,
just
the
a
same company, Raj
reporting.
company is getting a report in USD, you will have reporting in UR and as well as INR. Okay.
So this is like you are just making using one ledger, but other ledgers are giving you numbers in different currencies.
Exactly. I'm getting a report in other than USD currency. But you can have
So,
maximum 2 currency. 1 plus 2 currency reporting, not more than that. So total 3 currencies, including your, this is called as a legal currency. This is your legal, right? This is a legal currency, right? Because you are there. Your company is set up in US, right?
no, but my question is here, so why company want to say different currency if they don't have any operation outside?
No, that's what I'm telling you. Depending on the requirement, if the company is listed, okay, if your company is listed, there might be a requirement for your shareholders who needs to be given a reporting in EUR or INR, right? Hello?
Okay.
So that is the reason what I'm telling you. The reporting structure has changed. Maybe that is the reason, or maybe if an IFR has come into for a reporting purpose. Okay?
Okay.
It is just a requirement, Rehan. Depending on the
Okay.
requirement, you will set up this ledgers. If you want to have a reporting and other than your legal currency, USD currency, then you will go for such kind of a configuration. That is parallel ledgers.
I heard that we can create up to six parallel ledgers.
I'm not sure because we set up the currencies over here. I don't know for what reason they told you. When you set up the currencies, guys, just hold on. Just don't worry about it. Raj and Srivastav, okay? If you set up ledgers, you can set up any number. But what about the currencies?
No, but SAP standard basically I heard that they.
See, I'm showing you here now. See in the systems. Ledgers you can set up as many ledgers you want. But what about the currencies?
Currencies definitely you can use.
That's what I said. See, ledgers you can set up any ledgers. Define ledgers for general ledger accounting. I'll go ahead and create a number of ledgers. This 1, 2, 3, 4. Any ledgers I can create. But for these ledgers, if I'm trying to define the currencies, I cannot define anything. Here, can you see here? 3. First, second, third. Only 3 currencies.
Third, yeah.
Not more than that. Okay. So this is about the ledgers. Now coming to document splitting. In case of a document splitting, if you are trying to pull up the reports based on cost objects, like what cost objects? Cost center, profit center, or even business area. If you want to have reports based on this, you can have through document splitting. Rayan?
Yeah.
Okay. So these are the few things that I'll be covering in the new GL concepts. Okay. So anyway, asset accounting also, the reporting structure has changed. That I'll cover again in the new GL at that particular juncture on that. This is basically all for reporting, new GL. So here I come to a conclusion. Now shoot your question, whatever questions you have.
So will you cover also the COPA or report writing or
report writer?
Report writer.
That is not a report painter.
Report painter, report writer. So
yeah, that is basically a different altogether, a different topics for that. This is the content, first content. So what happens usually, people go through this content, they practice, and then they come back and start with the product costing, COPA, and the report painter, what you're talking.
Okay, so that will be a different separate course.
Yes, separate course. I put it in a separate course because that takes a totally different time and different demonstration I have to give you. That is totally different altogether.
Okay, and so data migration.
Data migration from the LSMW perspective, or what you want to know?
Yeah, yeah. LSMW or
for master data upload.
for master data, transitional data even.
Okay, that I can show you, not a problem. But usually that will be done by the developers. They ask to do you. Did they ask you to do that?
No, Miss, I'm just asking.
Yeah, I can show you, but usually an ABAPer takes control of that.
Okay.
Migration things. So usually they take control of it.
Okay. So will we get any notes plus any little preparation help for the interviews, and plus some interfaces knowledge that if in a project session, if someone has to work on the interfacing, any past experience with you.
What I'm giving, it will be all related to the project base only. That's what I said. I pick up a scenario, I'll replicate in SAP. Pick up a scenario, replicate in SAP.
Okay.
This is a scenario. This is where order to cash scenario. Order has come. I need to until I receive the cash. Okay, that all will be the scenario based. Like I'm issuing a manual check. I'm issuing I'll show you also EBS, electronic bank statement. Okay, or BRS from the domain perspective. Okay, so this is like a basic settings. Like if you see here, I'll be giving the notes. Okay, like you have with the screenshots, with the path and everything. How you do company codes and all this. I'll be sharing across. Okay. So whatever I'll cover at that particular juncture, after I covered, I'll send across this notes.
Okay.
Yeah. What else?
Which kind of prerequisite we need to take this course?
You should know accounting. You should have an accounting knowledge.
Oh, okay. That is where I was getting lost. Okay. So accounting at what level?
At a basic level, you should know what is debit, what is credit, what is balance sheets, what's a P&L accounts, nature of the account.
Okay. Okay, so kind of a 101 will be good enough for the accounting 101 kind of.
Like example, if I say sales GL account, sales will come under where? It comes under the P&L.
Okay.
It is treated as an income, right? Sales is an income, right? It's not an expense.
Yep.
If I'm purchasing is an expense to me. Salaries, expense.
Okay.
Rent, expense. Material, raw material is what? It's an asset, current asset, right? Easily convertible. Fixed assets, it's an asset.
Yeah.
Right. Payables, which you owe, which you need to pay, those are treated as a current liabilities, right? Those things.
Okay, so when you are going to start the session?
I think your vendors decides that depending on the size of the class and all that.
And how many hours will it be covered?
It takes around 40 to 45 hours of the
45 hours.
Between 40 to 45 hours.
So it takes a month or?
About. You want to finish early?
Above. Okay. Not at all.
What else, guys? The other two has gone pretty silent.
Yeah, I'm going to start. Whenever they start, I'm going to start the problem.
Yeah. Raj?
Yes. So I'm little bit curious to know what the market situation is to make this move.
Okay. It's all up to you, man. How you take this. I have given you a picture of it. It's up to you to decide what it is. I hope I've given you some knowledge on this. What SAP is all about now. Right, Srivastava?
Yeah, I think now I feel more comfortable to say I know something about SAP now. I just heard that name a lot, but now I can at least for a few minutes I can talk about SAP.
Yeah.
So you did explain at the conceptual level that I think it was a very good presentation, and thank you very much for that.
Yeah. So let those people, you can talk to your respective vendors, give them update if you want to join or whatever your take on this is. So they'll get back to me on this. All right.
Great.
So should we call it a day?
Yeah. So to whom I have to talk to the same vendor?
Yeah, same that. Your respective vendors on that.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. Thanks.
Thanks.
See you.